Hi there, my dear empath or a highly sensitive person. So these messages have come to me very strongly within the last few days, especially over the weekend. That's it is important to know who you trust and who you can actually confide in, who you can actually talk to, because so many people can be so toxic and they can underestimate a sensitive empath, a highly sensitive person, because they don't know what it's like to be one. And maybe they never met a sensitive person like you are before. And so it's impossible for them to understand what your life is like and what you are like and how you operate, what you might think and feel every day in your life. And especially if they have not been through narcissistic abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, bullying experiences, even more so, it can be really impossible for people to understand. And this was a big life lesson for me, of course, as well, because I had no clue, because I'm an Earth Angel, Starseed hybrid, and I'm here to help people. I'm here to help humankind. And I'm so kind that I always thought that other people are like me. And maybe you resonate with this because usually as empaths and HSPs, we think that people are just good and kind and that we can trust people, especially, when we're children growing up. We don't realize that this is not really true, that there are people out there who we cannot trust and who won't give us respect, for example, because people just are not as kind and sensitive as we are. And so these have been very, very difficult lessons, life lessons for me. And of course, at the same time, it is a big reminder to be having your boundaries, because without your boundaries, if you don't love yourself, if you don't value yourself, if you don't respect yourself, if you don't know your worth, it's very, very difficult to navigate through this life, being in this human body. We are spirits in human bodies, here to have a human experience. And maybe you also identify as an earth angel or starseed or both, like I do. And then you're definitely in the right place, as you are watching my videos and following my work. And maybe you're my client already or have been my client. But anyway, I just had to be talking about this subject today because it was coming to me really powerfully again. That it is so important to know who we can trust and, who is actually worth it, because the trust has to be earned and worked through. It's not something that we can just give freely, because that is the way that you will really get hurt easily if you trust people too easily. And I was burned so many times in my life that it also was a big life lesson for me to learn that I cannot trust everybody and I should not trust everybody and I should not tell about my life story to everybody, because there are people out there who do not understand or they do not respect me and they cannot give me the support and understanding and empathy that I would wish in that situation to have, you know? And I have talked about this subject before in my videos when I have been talking about how it is natural to be uh, feeling that you want to talk to somebody, because it's natural that we have needs. We have needs as human beings, and one of those needs is to be able to be heard, to be able to talk to somebody who you can actually trust. And, to be heard, to be listened to be respected and loved and valued and cared for. Naturally, they are your needs. And if you've been through emotional abuse, physical abuse when you were a child, like I was, those needs were not met. And therefore, there can be a big void within you, within your inner child, that needs a lot of healing. Healing from the past, maybe even from the present, if you've been putting up with toxic treatments in the present also. So it's important to acknowledge that there is the need, the natural need within you, and there's nothing to be ashamed about it. It's what we all have. We all want that, but even more so as empaths and HSPs, even more so, and it's even more so if we have been through difficult things in our lives, such as narcissistic abuse from our parents. So it is important to know as an adult who you can trust, who you can open up to, who will support you. And we all deserve people around us who actually uplift us and, respect us and love us the way we are, and that is how it's supposed to be. We're not supposed to be having toxic relationships in our lives, because what is the point in that? You only get sick and you're only wasting your life and your feelings and your emotions and, everything with a person like that. So we have to work on that self-love and self-care and, self-protection in those ways, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, so that we can live a fuller life, a happy life, safe and balanced and peaceful. And so that we can fulfill our life missions and thrive. And this creates more safety and balance the more you can just, create that safety for yourself, that you love yourself, you value yourself, you respect yourself, you know your needs, you honor your needs, you honor yourself the way you are, and you know that you deserve the best, and you have faith in yourself, you believe in yourself, you have faith in the universe, you have faith in God and the angels, because you are so loved. We are all so loved. But we have to be paying attention to these things. And we have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe that we're loved. We have to believe in the love that is around us always. The universe always wants the best for us. It's always striving to give us the best. But it's up to us to be open to it. And we cannot be acting against ourselves, self-sabotaging. So it's important to be reflecting on these things and fixing them if there's something to fix. Making changes in a good way so that you can actually live a happy life, safe. You can actually be yourself. Because the society can be such a difficult place for an empath or a highly sensitive person. And it can be so painful to be a human being. and work through this life. So those things alone can be so challenging. But if there's something else on top of that, then what can you do? All you can do is just let go of those things that are not serving you. And as always, everything I talk about has come to me as a very difficult life lesson, usually. Sometimes I just get these intuitive nudges and downloads because I'm always thinking about different things, which has always come very natural to me. But anyway, but yeah, so don't let just anyone come close to you. Don't make that mistake that you would open up to somebody again, you would be loyal again, and they don't respect you. They attack you in some way. They try to make you the bad guy. They turn your own private matters against you in some way. And that would be, again, very wrong, very toxic. So if you want to get out of a cycle like this, all you need to do is just, have your boundaries and love yourself and know your worth and your value and know that you come first in your life. You have to put yourself first. And you have to say, no, this is not okay. And I'm stepping up. I'm stepping up. I'm standing up for myself and I'm stepping back. And I'm letting go and I'm releasing this. Thank you. And remember that it's the other person's issue if they don't respect you. And what you give, you get. If you give love and kindness, the universe picks it up and you will get it back. And those toxic people who only want to spread hate and misery and sadness and all types of negative emotions because all they have is pain within them, that's all they get. They will get their karma. They only get pain. They are not happy. But you have a chance to be happy and you're supposed to be happy and healthy and live a joyful life normally with healthy relationships, healthy people, stable, balanced people. And this is very important. This topic is very, very important to me because I went through such, I don't even know how to describe it really with one word, but I've just hit rock bottom so badly in my life that it felt really impossible for me to get out of it. And that is why I just had to gather my strength, and therefore I wrote my books in Finnish and English and started to do my work. I was thinking about it like for example, years ago, even before I did anything. I was basically like forming it in my mind, like what I'm supposed to do in this world, in my life. But yeah, all of my experiences have led me to here now, and I just want you to also remember to be careful with people because you don't want to get hurt again. So you have to protect yourself. It's no use for us kind, sensitive people to be just giving and giving and giving, and others are taking and taking and taking, because if we don't have boundaries in place, if we don't value ourselves, if we don't love ourselves, we don't respect ourselves, we don't know our worth. No, that's not life. That is not life. That is just full taken advantage of. That's not real life at all. It's not supposed to be like that. And it's so wrong. But this is why we might attract these kind of people, because if we have the tendency to be loyal and open and honest and giving and kind and trusting and being there for others, trying to rescue others. For me, it took a long time to learn that I cannot rescue everybody. I had that belief for many, many years in my life that like I'm supposed to rescue everybody, and the world is on my shoulders. And it's been too much, because there have also been other difficult things, challenges happening in my life. So I had to find a way to let that go, because we can have these limiting beliefs and these blocks, these mental blocks in our minds, in our brains. And those limiting beliefs are really limiting us. They are really working against us. And we are the only ones who can change them. And we should. We have to change them. We have to let go. We have to cleanse ourselves, our minds, our bodies, our chakras, our auras. Because that is how we are built, and we have to take charge and take responsibility of our own well-being, and we have to do that. But I'm just guiding you again with this video today, in case you need this information, you need this reminder, you need this encouragement and understanding and empathy, because that is what I'm here to do. So be careful who you open up to, so that you don't end up letting another narcissist come into your life to hurt you. And sometimes we don't even know where these toxic people, they can just sort of like appear. Like from my personal experience, I can tell you that they have just appeared basically out of nowhere, and I'm like, what is happening here? And it's been very, very, very draining and hurtful when this has happened. That I had no idea that it was coming. So I've been really scared sometimes and shocked and in panic. So also taking care of that is very important. The healing and cleansing and letting go of that energy. Because there's no point in carrying that energy within you. So you might have to talk it out if something happens, or cry it out, or write it out, or whatever is your way. But as long as that energy is released completely, because it's not your energy, and to remember that it's the other person and you are different from the other person. But yeah, these happenings can be very difficult. And if this resonates with you, I'm glad if you get support out of this video now. But this is from my experience, what happened to me. And once again, I had to reflect on those things happening, and be letting go and protecting myself better. Because if we are vulnerable and open to hurt, it's not easy to handle, because these people have no idea what it feels like, because they don't have that empathy, they don't have that compassion, they don't have that understanding how they hurt a sensitive person. And apparently they don't have manners either. Like I've said before, there's a big difference between a hater and a normal person. And a normal balanced adult person, a stable person, does not go around hurting others, like I've said. But these haters, these bullies, these toxic people, narcissistic people, whoever is so toxic that they just want to hurt other people, that's not normal, and it's a big red flag. And you have to stay away from people like this. And that is also what is very important for me, to have my personal boundaries, which I'm also teaching you. And don't forget that I have my boundaries bootcamp guide if you're interested in walking through your boundaries. It's only €7, and you find it on my website if you're interested. Because it's important to practice those boundaries. It takes practice, 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 especially when you've been through childhood trauma, because you never learned your boundaries. You never learned how to protect yourself. You did not even know that you're a sensitive being, maybe. For me, it took years to get to this point where I'm now. And so I do wish that it would have happened sooner, that I would have got some support, some real understanding about everything earlier. That would have really changed my life big time. But that never happened, and I had to go through everything by myself to discover everything. And so it has not been easy. But yes, important to know. It's important to know who you are and what you want and what you deserve, and to protect yourself so that you can actually be happy. Because we need that protection, that self-care. Every day we need it. Otherwise, we're just burned out. But yeah, thank you for watching. As always, subscribing, liking, sharing if your friend needs to hear this also. And if you have thoughts, you can write me a nice comment below. If you're interested in my services, in having a reading with me, or having a healing session with me, having a coaching therapy session with me, all the information is always below each video. Check it out there, how to get in touch with me, and we can talk and I can help you one-on-one, because it's very, very difficult for me to help. As you must understand, I cannot help you if you don't have a session with me, or buy one of my online courses, for example. But yes, I wish you the best. Love and light to your day. Namaste.